So, Danny Collins is the latest drama comedy movie starring HoAh Pacino. The story is that when an aging rock star discovers a letter written to him by John Lennon when he was a younger man, he decides to re-evaluate his life, not just his music career, but also his relationship with his estranged son. The movie is directed by Dan Fogelman, who made movies such as Las Vegas, and it is this story loosely based upon true events, but it's loosely based in the Hollywood, this kind of sort of happened, so yeah, we're making a movie out of it. Once again, it stars HoAh Pacino, who is as brilliant as ever, even though this movie can be a bit limp at times. His and his cohorts' performances do elevate the material far better than it would otherwise do so. Also, there is Annette Bening, or Benning, I misspelt her name on my note sheet, and I don't want to look it up online, who is great as kind of like the comedic foil and potential love interest to Al Pacino. Also, there was a mild titter and applause for when Christopher Plummer appeared on screen. I don't know if that's because he had fans in the audience or people were just surprised that he's still alive. Christopher Plummer's about 128 years old right now, and seeing him still making movies inspires my young, feeble heart. I have to say, this movie is pretty much a by-the-numbers drama, comedy movie. The comedy is fine, the drama is fine, but most of the events within the movie just seem to be perpetuating the drama that little bit more, to push it on, to try and make it feel as though this movie actually had a little bit more weight behind it. The sole reason why this movie exists is for performances and very little else. Once again, everyone does a fine enough job with the material that they have in hand, even if the material itself is fairly limp. And there are multiple times within the movie where this movie feels as though it's about to come to an end, as though we're reaching the natural, logical conclusion for the movie. And then it begins again. So when we actually get to the real ending, it feels terribly abrupt. It feels a little bit too... There's a part of you that watching this movie want it to take a little bit more of a focus on the music side of things, seeing the ideas of an established musician taking a radical new direction with his career, and all the implications that it can have for him in terms of their own emotional state, but also the financial state, which is vaguely tittered with, but once again, it's not really about that. It's not about the music industry or what it's like to be a rock star. It's about the performances, and the performances are fine. That's all I can really say about it. It's fine. There's plenty of ideas within it, which once again, I'd kind of like to be explored a little bit more. The whole music side of things, the music industry side of things, I would quite happily have this movie been about, but it's fine for what it is. It's not an instant recommendation. If you're at all a fan of Al Pacino's work, then you may as well see this. He's done infinitely worse movies than this. But in the grand scheme of things, it's a movie that's going to get lost in translation. Well, not lost in translation. It's going to get lost in the big hoo-ha that is the summer blockbuster season. It could quite easily have come out in the autumn months or in the awkward drought period when it would have at least had a little bit more chance of standing its own. But it's a fine movie. Nothing to write home about, sadly.